Hello folks, back with another WIP Wednesday here. Hoping to actually get this one out on Wednesday. So I've got a couple of projects on the work desk right now. I'm working on some 28mm Velociraptors, some 28mm Skaven, and then a couple of figures also for Rangers of Shadow Deep. And then I am finishing off a 15mm Critical Mass Games, now sold by Raoul Partha Europe, Arc Fleet Scout Trooper Platoon. So the Velociraptors here, I have two different kinds. Reaper Bones sells a Reaper Bones Black pack of five different sculpts too, so all of them are different. And normally I'm fairly satisfied with the quality from Reaper Bones, but with these particular sculpts, I'm not really. Detail's very soft. Once I primed this and then airbrushed on it with the greens, mostly ink. There's not a whole lot of detail. They're great for the price, of course. 5 figures for like 12 bucks. Yeah, can't return them, so I'm going to paint them. But compared to the quality of some of their other stuff, I'm not very satisfied. The Bones Black material is definitely superior to the regular Bones floppy plastic. It's still got a little bit of play to it, but it is much sturdier, and I have a couple of other Bones Black miniatures now that I just ordered that are much better. I just think these sculpts in particular did not translate well. So I might wind up picking up some metal ones. We'll see. We'll see how badly I want more Velociraptors. I also got a couple of the WizKids ones here. Smaller. Definitely, geared more towards the 1-inch square here, whereas the Reaper Bones are not. They're not made with anything in consideration usually. So they're smaller. I'm not a paleontologist, but I think even these guys are much bigger than actual raptors were. The poses are very dynamic. They're very good. I really like these. $4.99, I think, for 2 is their price point for this size figure. But I didn't want to have just 2 sculpts. So these guys I just primed with the rattle can first for the yellow, and then used silly putty to get the stripes on here, and then airbrushed on a mostly ink. I took some craft paint that goes through my airbrush real well, thinned it down with some ink, also to darken the green a little bit, and we're going to go from here. So that is a pack that I'm going to have, nominally to use with my Kroot conversions that I've been doing. Here is some to me 1/35th, I believe, scale Velociraptors that I'm turning into mounts for my 4-armed Kroots that I am converting. So this is kind of a long-term project. But in the meantime, I bought some Velociraptors to be used as, hunting dogs or whatever. Not sure what I'm going to use them in, but I've always wanted to convert those guys. A number of years ago, I picked up a bunch of Skaven off of eBay. Once I got my ultrasonic cleaner, I stripped them all down. Now I'm reassembling and repainting them for D&D. So quick tabletop paint jobs. Nothing too fancy. A couple of colors. These guys I added wire spears to. I wanted something bigger to represent pikes. These guys are going to be pikes in D&D. They have a 10-foot reach. So they're going to be a second line poking people in the face. And then, of course, you know, the regular armed guys. These guys have been base coated and washed. So I am going to just add some highlights to these guys. They don't get very fancy paint jobs. Not that there's a whole lot of detail anyway. But I have about 30 of these guys in various stages of being painted. The same batch that I'm working on, a couple of ranges of Shadow Deep guys, a Gnoll, and a Barbarian. And these guys were all primed with Army Painter's Desert Yellow. And on the other ones, you know, I kept that as one of the paints. On the Barbarian here, I forgot. And made my work a little harder for me. These guys got a little more attention, a couple of more colors. They'll get a little more attention during the dry brush. Actually based with some flock. And then I have the remainder of the platoon that I picked up from Critical Mass Games. Right as they announced they were going out of business, later on they had sold the entire line to Ral Partha Europe, which is good because I could not afford to pick up as much as I wanted to at the time. These Scout Troopers, I actually need a couple of packs more of heavy weapons to make up my squads. I have been putting these on multiple based squads here. Doing 2 stands to a squad, 3 riflemen, and a heavy weapon. Bent this one. So these particular heavy weapons, this Gatling, this rotary machine gun, is very flimsy. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. Thankfully, the rest of the weapons aren't like that for the rest of the Arc Fleet Trooper line. So I've been doing them 2 stands to a squad, 8 guys, 1 leader, a pointing guy, of course. 1 heavy weapon per squad. On Flames of War sized bases. And then I have a number of bases that are undone. Or not finished. And these guys I just mount on a popsicle stick, paint them 4 at a time. Again, used Army Painter. Wolf Gray, I think, is this light blue color. For the primer, quick camo. These guys are scouts, so I did a really quick camo scheme on them. And then they're going to get based up. And I'll make up a full platoon of infantry, and then have the other 2. There's heavy troopers and then drop troopers from the Arc Fleet that I will be painting up next. And once those are all done, I'll do a little video review. I've been using some Rebel Minis for the Scout Force, and we'll get a video of that together hopefully next week or the week after that. So this is what is on the paint desk for the remainder of this week. I have been painting fast and furious for Rangers of Shadow Deep, looking to get some games in with my family as we are locked here in my pandemic basement bunker where I work and paint and game and hide. So maybe we'll see some videos of that. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I'll talk to you later.